that having been said, I'm Steve,
I'm Paul.
and this is Check Your Shelf. And today, we're going to do the impossible, or at least we're going to do our best. We're going to talk about The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. A very serious work, very impactful work, and impossible to make a funny video about.
But if there's one thing we can do best,
it's the impossible.
it's the impossible.
The impossible is just a starting point for us.
as no one will know, because we just pulled off the impossible to get where we are right now.
That's true. That's true. The Yellow Wallpaper. Well, what is it? It's a 1892 work by, as I said, Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And it was written during a time when women were to be subservient to their husbands. They were considered domestic, almost like domestic servants, right? And once you're married, you listen to your husband. And it's also a time when the medical establishment was men and they didn't listen to women.
I mean, to be fair, that hasn't changed much. You know, there may be female doctors, lady doctors, but they still don't listen to women the way they should.
Yeah, it is funny how as I was saying it out loud, going, it was during a time when, and I was like, okay, there's been some progress, but not nearly enough.
Yeah. I watched a breakdown of this story by this psychiatrist, I think she was, and she was talking. It was on YouTube, and she was talking about how this was a time when the medical community didn't take women's problems seriously. Man, I couldn't run to the comments fast enough, but everybody beat me to it.
Right.
So it's not just us.
Yeah, and believe me, the irony is not lost on me that here's a couple of dudes talking about this, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do we know?
Yeah.
So we're not going to attempt to be the voice of understanding or the voice of reason here. Like, that would be interesting if somebody did a video on The Yellow Wallpaper and explained how the husband doctor was right.
Oh, see, that should have been our angle. We'd have got plenty of interaction that way.
Oh man, the MAGA bros would be all over our channel. Yeah,
we'd have so many of the wrong kind of subscribers.
Finally, right booktube instead of left booktube.
Yeah, because the bros are out there reading feminist literature.
Yeah, that's right. I say that about The Yellow Wallpaper all the time at the Trump rallies. Like nobody listens to me. It's like everybody who's read it thinks it's, they're like, oh, that's feminist trash. And I'm like, no, I don't think it's feminist trash. I think what she was trying to say is if you don't listen to your husband and you try to rebel, you'll go crazy. Is that what they sound like at the Trump rallies?
I imagine so.
Yeah. So, okay, what is it? Let's just do a quick rundown here. So it's short. It's like, I don't know how many pages. I read it on Project Gutenberg. It was written in 1892. It's public domain. And Charlotte's descendants don't need the money. So, all right, now the comments are going to get filled up with Charlotte's descendants. Actually, that was the name of my band in college. Charlotte's Descendants.
That's one of those like counting blue cars kind of bands. You guys were like real sensitive.
It's true. We really were. We were always complaining about the man and men in general. The story's short. Probably by the time I get done talking about it, you could have just gone and read it, or you could also go watch or go listen to the YouTube audiobook. I like the one by Jamie Loftus. Maybe there'll be a link down below. And if you have your preferred version, if I ever see this in a collection of short stories, I'm buying it, right?
Yeah, that's what threw me off. I don't have it. I thought maybe I had it in one of my more, obscure, out there kind of anthologies. But I looked for a while. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go to Project Gutenberg.
It's not in your compendium of late 19th century feminist literature.
I'm surprised. I'm as surprised as you are.
All right. So as it happens, Gilman herself had postpartum depression and she was put on this thing by her doctor called the rest cure. And so this story has someone who's recently had a baby, and she and her husband rent this colonial mansion out on the countryside. And
It was a different time.
he's also a doctor and prescribes for her the rest cure. Right?
Yes, but he's a well-respected physician, and what does she know?
Right? She loves to write. She loves nothing
Mm.
more than just to write. She loves writing in her journal. She just loves writing, socializing, wandering in the gardens, loves the outdoors, and kind of loves this country mansion. And in the beginning is able to wander around a little bit, see some stuff, right?
Mhm.
But he puts her in this nursery that is it's an odd nursery he puts her in for a few reasons. One is the bed's bolted to the floor.
Mhm.
The other is there's like scratch marks all over the floor as well. And some of the wallpaper's kind of torn, and there are these rings bolted to the walls.
Yeah,
You
and
kinda
there's
go,
also bars on the window. Don't
bars
forget.
on the windows. Thank you. And she's just like, oh yeah, it's a nursery. There's bars on the windows to keep the kids from crawling out the window. I'm like, I don't know what's going on in this house. But she,
What baby's gonna move the bed? You know.
yeah, right. Right. The other odd thing about this room is the wallpaper. I wonder if anybody, comment below if you want to guess what color the wallpaper is, and timestamp it so I know you didn't
That's right.
watch ahead. Right? So I'm about to tell you. Spoiler alert: it's yellow, and it has this bizarre pattern on it, and it's just creepy yellow wallpaper.
Yeah.
And at first, she's like, it's a nursery. She's like explaining away why there's bars on the windows, why these rings might be on. I'm like, sex dungeon? No, I don't think that's what she thinks either. But
No,
she
that's
asks
my
her,
story.
she's asking her husband. So at first they're in the room together. Eventually he leaves the room, I guess, sleeps somewhere else in the house.
Yeah.
And when she first starts telling her story, she explains that she's been told, you are not to work at all. Don't write. You can't talk to people. You can't socialize with people. You can't. Actually, that comes later. She's able to socialize with people, but only the ones he brings over. He
Yeah.
like invites cousins and things over to
Yeah.
talk to.
Couple cousins, couple nursemaids, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. As time goes on, you can tell that girl ain't right. She starts to see things in the wallpaper. She starts to feel things. She starts to suspect maybe the place is haunted, except it, it's been sitting empty for several years because it's in some kind of legal issue. So she's like, nah, it's probably not ghosts then. Why would ghosts stick around if it's,
Well, ghosts aren't very litigious, so
that's true. They probably aren't the ones doing the suing. If they were though, man, I'd sue. I'd get some ghosts to sue some people. That'd be cool. I know. I already know who. Work up a plan. All right. So sitting in this room, not being allowed to write. So she's sneaking the writing in the journal when, at night and stuff. And she's trying to trace the pattern on the wallpaper. And she says it doesn't repeat except for, she calls it breath. Is that what it's called in wallpaper? You one piece and then the next piece. And she's like, it repeats that way, but this pattern, and she starts trying to trace it and she just can't. And then she gets the feeling there's another pattern behind that pattern. And it kind of looks like a woman back there. And did she just move? I think the woman moved. Then there's a horrible smell. And she's like, but I can only smell it. Like I try to look at it to see what it is, but when I look, it's gone. And then when people come in, they don't see the woman. I'm the only one that can see the woman. She is legit losing it.
She does a really good job of, this is one of the few like journal entry type stories that I've read that I really love the layout for. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes those things can seem really, really forced. This one does not.
Hmm.
And this one is like you're in her head, man. You're
Yeah.
getting the as it happens. And it's just it's so like fragmented and stuff that it's just it's a really fun fun. It's a
Mhm.
fun read.
What a blast.
Yes.
No, it could be, forget all the feminist stuff and everything. It could be a horror story,
Yeah, you
right?
could if you had no brain cell, you could just read it and it would just be like a straight up like kind of a ghost story.
I
But
think
there's so much to it.
that's one of the layers that I think it works on. One of the
Hmm.
levels it works on, right?
Yeah.
Just an entertaining ghost story.
Hmm.
Interestingly, after I read it, I thought, we've read things like House on the Borderlands. And
Hmm.
the question I asked at the end of that, I was like, now I think we're supposed to take it literally. I think that stuff was supposed to have actually happened. So it's a cosmic horror. There really were pig people, and he really went on this cosmic time travel journey, right? So I asked myself, was he mad or did this actually happen? But I didn't ask myself when I finished the Yellow Wallpaper. And I was like, why not? Well, maybe because I've read so much analysis of it that I was like, no, everybody agrees she was mad, right? I
Yeah.
think. But you could read it on another level, like maybe there really was a ghost behind the wallpaper,
Hmm.
and or both. Maybe the ghost drove her mad, you know. Anyway, so
Maybe she's the ghost. You
well,
know.
she even says that at one point, like she claims that she came out of the wallpaper,
Yeah.
and she loves to creep. She said, "I love." She says this several times. She's like, the woman behind the wallpaper comes out, but only for me. Like, and she creeps
Mhm.
around. But
Yeah.
she creeps during the daylight. And she's like,
Yep.
I like to creep too, but when I creep during the daylight, I lock the door because I don't think they would get it. I don't think I don't think my husband and the caretaker, I don't think they would understand. Yeah, so that's pretty much the story. At the end, there's a really, again, spoiler alert. Dude, you've had 120, 130 some years, 134 years to read this thing. Get on it.
Yeah. Yeah. You could
But
you could go read it now and then come back
we'll wait.
and everything will be spoiler free for you.
Yeah, we'll wait. Let us know when you're back.
Mm.
You got plans for this weekend? Yeah.
Well, it's pretty far out still.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh,
Yeah.
they're back. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So now that you've read it, no spoilers. So at the very end, I just love the very end. And then I had to remind myself this was written in 1892. So when she
Mhm.
says she's creeping, she's basically crawling around on the floor, right? Around
Mhm.
and around the edge of the room, right? Her husband, doctor husband's trying to get in. Obviously, she locked the door because she locks the door when she's creeping. Oh, creeping in
Mhm.
here, creeping. Somebody's in here doing some creeping. But he's knocking. He's trying to get the door open. She's like, well, just go get the key. She tells him where the key is. He goes and gets the key, opens the door, and most of the wallpaper is torn off the walls.
Yeah.
She is, I just imagine her with bloody knees, bloody hand, just because she's crawling on the floor, right?
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
going around and around. And he can't handle it. He passes out.
Yeah.
And
The
she,
well-respected physician.
a well-respected physician, instead of, yeah, just passes out. So instead of her, it doesn't phase her in the slightest. She just keeps crawling. And every time she gets to
Mhm.
him, she crawls over him. She goes around again,
Mhm.
crawls over him again. And it ends. And that's the end.
It's so creepy.
She's creepy. She's creeping. The girl is creepy like ice is cold. Only Nick from Book Graveyard will get that. And Jake will be like, what was that supposed to mean? Anyway. It reminded me of those movies where there's an old sick lady just crawling around
Mhm.
in a
Mhm.
weird, like unnatural way, you know.
Yeah, like the only thing scary about the original Pet Cemetery was the creepy old lady who was all twisted and mangled and just coming at the camera all weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So based on that telling, I mean, what was feminist about it, right? So she was making a statement about how you don't listen to women.
Mm-hmm.
Rest cure is not what I needed. What I needed was exercise, good nutrition. I needed to be able to journal. I needed to be able to socialize with people. That's what I really needed. She sent the story to her doctor who had put her on the rest cure, hoping he would change his ways. I don't think he did, but
Yeah.
the story went beyond her doctor and influenced others to go, yeah, wait a minute. And to your point in the beginning, it's still used today to help people see how women just aren't listened to a lot of times.
Yeah.
And in medical issues, but in a lot of different things,
Mhm.
It's almost like, that's nice. You have a sweet little opinion, but the men are going to figure this out.
Men are talking about your body. Hang on.
Exactly. Hold on. The men are going to figure this out for you. So, excuse me. Yeah. So that's pretty much, and also the mental health thing. They
Mhm.
It was interesting how many times she talked about there's nothing wrong with her, right? And at one point he goes, "Oh, honey, you can be as sick as you like," basically
Yeah.
saying you're not sick. And she's like,
Yeah.
"But I don't have an appetite. I'm tired all the time. I'm sad all the time, but there's nothing wrong with you." It's like,
Yeah.
how does any of that sound? And he even told her, don't even, because she started to go, I think it's in my mind. And he's like, don't even go there. Do not even go there and talk about that.
Yeah. No, I loved I mentioned this in the previous video. Just the whole there's nothing wrong with you, but here's how we're gonna fix it. It's like
Yeah.
that is like the the greatest gaslighting, the most obvious, just in your face. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with you, but here's how we're gonna fix it.
Here's the cure. Here's the cure to
Yes.
the nothing that's wrong with you.
Yes.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with anything, but I thought it was funny when she said, like, some of the furniture and the floors and the walls said they looked like they had been through the wars. I was like, 1892. What wars did they look like they had been through? Well, I mean, it was 120-ish years since the Revolutionary War, and then the War of 1812 happened 80, 70, 80 years before that. So maybe those were the wars she was talking about. The French and Indian War. I don't know. What Spanish American War, that hadn't happened yet. I'm like, what wars was she talking about?
Yeah, and I don't think what wasn't it like an English countryside or something?
I think they said colonial
Oh, okay.
home, so I took that to mean American countryside, and she did say it reminded her of the English manners that you read about.
Yeah, true, and they spelled color right. So yeah, it was the state side. So,
That's the biggest clue yet.
but this
Yeah.
really is a great story, and at face value, it's a creepy ass ghost story.
Yeah.
But it's it's an onion story. You know, I don't know how many times you said you read it, but I read it probably 3 times.
Mhm, mhm.
And yeah, you get different you find different things every single time. It's almost like the wallpaper itself. There's all
Ooh,
this. It's crazy how much stuff she shoved into one little story
yeah.
that to this day is still studied in like feminist lit classes and stuff like that. I read it in high school, uh and it didn't quite, my dumb like 17-year-old brain just took it as as a creepy ghost story.
Mhm.
But as a elder statesman, uh, you see what it really is.
You read it, you're like, "Man, bitches be crazy." Anyway, uh, it is, yeah, it's definitely studied in, feminist programs, literature classes, psychology classes, even on Pulp Island. This is the kind of thing that'll get us kicked off of Pulp Island. Like, the yellow wallpaper. What are you guys even doing? We're trying to get those 8 views, the same 8 people that watch those other boring videos. Don't take our word for it. Oh, by the way, out of 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, where do you put this one?
I'm gonna give it. I hadn't really thought about that. Because if you go anything lower than a 4, people are gonna get mad at you.
You hate women.
I'll give it my standard 3.5.
Yeah, this one's hard to rate because it's so different from what we normally talk about on here.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really compare. So I'm not going to rate it.
Oh, I see what you did there. I'll take the fall. I'll take the fall. It's fine.
I got you. No, I'd put it 3.62, I believe. I would say.
Okay.
Because of all the things you said, just the way it's funny. I wrote down, excuse me. I wrote down, even when she's going mad, she sounds sane, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get like, these are the ravings of a lunatic. You get, this is all totally normal behavior.
Yeah.
Things she's doing.
Yep. Like, she's not writing out her cackling, she's
yeah. And she's not angry. She's just like, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in the wallpaper anymore, but I don't really talk to the others about this because they would get the wrong idea. It's like, honey, I think they would get exactly the right idea, but they wouldn't do the right thing for you.
Right.
Yeah. So I say go read it. It's half an hour. Let us know what you think. If you read it in high school or wherever. I never read it before, I don't think. My wife, when we were looking for stuff to read for spooky season, she recommended it. So we finally made it.
I have no doubt that she would have recommended it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She will be listened to.
I mean, it took a couple of months, but you listened to her.
Yeah, in all fairness. At first I was like, honey, this is my booktube channel. We'll decide what to read.
She recommends the story and you're like, you didn't recommend a story, but here's what we're going to do in a couple of months.
Yeah, that's right. So that's all I got. What do you got?
I think we're good, man. Let's just wrap it up before we dig ourselves into a hole.
The first thing you do when you've dug yourself a hole, stop digging.
I just dig deeper. I thought sooner or later I'll find the bottom of it.
To that end, I'm Steve.
I'm Paul.
And the next time you're looking for something to read,
check your shelf. See, I never get to say that.
Yeah, probably not.
Is your wallpaper creeping?
Yes. I think there's a cat behind there. I think there's a cat, and I think it's making fun of me.
As they often are wont to do.